everyone, I wanted to share something really special with you today. I am launching my first journal book on Amazon tomorrow. It is called My Book of Brave, a journal for taking control of scary feelings and fears. And basically, it is a journal that aims to help children dealing with anxiety, to help them identify their fears and gain control of those fears instead of the fears controlling them. I created something very similar to this for my son when he was at the height of struggling with his selective mutism and sensory processing difficulties, where pretty much everything terrified him and fear was such a huge part of his daily life. When we went to Dr. E at the Smart Center, who was his treatment professional for selective mutism, she told us how identifying certain situations with a scary chart could kind of help him gain control of his fears instead of them controlling him. So we went home and we kind of came up with this scary chart. We drew some faces and we began sitting down every night together, and it became part of our routine. We would discuss the day, talk about different situations that really caused him a lot of fear, and he'd point to certain faces on this chart and tell me how it felt to him. This chart became very therapeutic for him, and we used it every night. But one time we went out of town and we forgot it, so we made one together. And while we were making it, he asked, "Can I draw how these feelings feel to me?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." So we took a whole bunch of computer paper, we stapled it together and made a little journal, and it became such an effective tool for him. And so I knew that one day I wanted to create a journal for other children just like him who were dealing with anxiety in their daily life. So I titled this journal My Book of Brave because I really feel that every child who's dealing with anxiety is incredibly brave. And I wanted to put arrows on the front because that arrows usually symbolize bravery. So I chose all different color arrows. And then on the inside, this journal belongs to, with a little arrow, you can put your name on the arrow. The next page has a quote by Mandy Hale. "It's okay to be scared. Being scared means you're about to do something really, really brave," which I love that quote, and I think it's a great quote to go into this journal. And the next page has some ways to use this journal. You can write in it, draw in it, color in it, discuss it, and then it goes into further detail about how you can do that. And then it jumps right into the journal. So on this page you have today's date, the situation, your scary chart faces of not scary, a little scary, scary, and super scary. You have a line section to write, and you have a box to draw. Now, some people might want to do all three. They might want to color, face, write, and draw, or they might just want to do one. It's your journal, so you can do whatever you like. For instance, with my son, he would usually write the date and the situation, which for him, when he was in the height of his selective mutism, might have been ordered food at a restaurant. And then he would either circle or color the face, how it felt to him. And sometimes he'd write a little bit about it, sometimes he'd draw. It just depended on what he felt like doing that day. And so he would go through and just do that for each page. And I recommend, what we did was we used a different page for each situation. So if he wanted to write about 5 things from his day, he would use 5 pieces of paper. When we first started doing our journal of just stapled pieces of paper, my son really couldn't read that well or write that well yet. So he would circle or color in a face that he felt for a certain situation, and then he'd draw a little picture. And sometimes he'd tell me some things and I'd write them down, or just I'd write some things down that I wanted him to remember from that situation. And over time, it was really neat because we had all these stacks of stapled journals, and we would look back over them and we could see the progress that he made. And it was really like a self-confidence boost because he was like, "Wow, look how scary it used to be, and now it's not as scary." So it became like a really great thing to look back on for him. And that's the kind of what I wanted with this, is there's a ton of pages, so over time you can kind of look back and see where you've made progress. One thing that was really important to me too was to put a chart on the back cover, because if you wanted to do like we did and just have a chart to discuss at bedtime, it's a great thing to just pick up and talk about the day with your child and have them point to how it felt. And the important thing is to be accepting of how it felt to them and kind of help them along and maybe ask them how it could become less scary to them. Whether you have a child or you yourself likes to draw, write, and color and is dealing with anxiety in their life, my hope is that this journal will be able to benefit you. I think that it can really be a great tool for educators and other school professionals who work with children with anxiety. I know that when my son was struggling with his selective mutism and sensory issues, he went to the speech therapist, kind of became his one-on-one person who would help him with things that really scared him, like going to gym or activities in the classroom. And I brought in one of our scary chart journals that we had made up, and they would use it she would use it with him, and it became an effective tool in the school setting as well. This journal is truly a labor of love. The entire time I was designing it, I was thinking of the best possible way to keep it simple and easy to use, and yet have it be, at the same time, be effective and appealing to children of all ages who are dealing with anxiety, whether that be from selective mutism, sensory processing disorders, anxiety from being a highly sensitive child, or a million other reasons why children experience fear and anxiety in their daily life. Tomorrow I will be posting the link for my book. It will be in the description of this video, and also I'll be posting it on all the boards I belong to. For my launch day, it's going to be a special of only $6.99. And as a thank you to everyone who has helped me on all of these boards and really helped my son with all his anxiety issues, I am also going to be including a bonus gift, which will be a free download of a few different types of scary charts that you can print out and take with you on the go if you don't want to bring your whole journal with you. So please look forward to that tomorrow, and I will be posting the link. Thank you.